Hello and welcome back to another manga haul with Catherine and Badgy. What are you doing? I'm hugging the stack. May not know what's in it, but I'm hugging it. Right, you do that. And this is the manga haul for the month of March 2019. That's obvious, because it's March 2019. Yeah, it is. I'm just saying. I know you are. Anyway, before we get into this stack of 13 mangas, we're going to do this little pile here. Yep. Which is, first hit up is the PS Vita game, Code Realize Wintertide Miracles, which is like the prequel to Code Realize. It's the third game in the series. Both 2 and 3 are fan discs. This is the second one. It's just more like side stories and stuff. It takes place at Christmas. And there's the cast. And I really enjoyed the other 2 games, so I got this one. It was out recently. There is the tiny little title. Yeah, so I haven't played it yet. I have just finished doing Period Cube. Seriously, finished it like 2 days ago. And next up, before we get on to the stack, is Monthly Girls No Zaki-kun, the DVD. I finally got around to getting this. I've explained what this is in my last 2 manga hauls, so I don't think there's much point in me doing it again. If you haven't seen those manga hauls and you want to know what this is about, then go watch them. And yeah, or you could just look up the description or whatever. That's the description anyway, if you want to pause. Okay, main event. Yeah, we can get on to the main event now. Yep, this is a stack here. I'm gonna back off because I can sense something I'm not gonna like in the shoujo area. And let's begin. Okay, first up this month, I have got 13 books. I got most of these off of Amazon. The last 2 down the bottom here are ones I picked up in Waterstones at the last minute because I went there. Yeah, you can't come out without a manga. Just can't. And first up, we have I Hear the Sunspot by Yuki Fumino. And this is volume 1. And I Hear the Sunspot is a shonen ai manga about this guy here who has hearing difficulties. He's not completely deaf, he can still have some hearing but very little. And this guy here who falls out of a bush and lands in front of him. And he decides to become his note taker, so he'll sit through classes and he'll take notes for this guy because he can't hear the lectures, and he'll read them afterwards. And it's about these 2 as they get to know each other more and develop their relationship. And as this guy here, I keep forgetting their names. It'll be there somewhere. Taichi here helps Kohai feel less isolated. It was a good series. I have read this one. There is another 2 volumes currently out, which I will be picking up at some point. It's a good manga. You should check it out if you want to. Yep, you should. Not that I've read it, but I'm just going off what she said because I get in trouble if I'm too bossy. Next we have Monthly Girls No Zaki-kun 5 and 6. Again, I talked about this in my last 2 videos, so there's not much point in talking about it again, but we have 5 and 6 of this comedy series. It's good. that's basically all you need to know if you like comedy and taking the shit out of shoujo manga. This is a good comedy. It's good. It is good. I wouldn't know though, because I haven't read it, so it might be pants. But since it takes the shit out of the shoujo genre, I might just like that. Okay. Next up we have Inspector Volume 9. This I found out recently is getting an anime adaptation, which is very good because I really love this series. It is by Kyoshi Odera, and the art by I can't even say that. And it's Kyoshi Odera wrote Fallen Vampire, Blast of Tempest, Spiral, The Bonds of Reasoning, stuff like that. This series is based off his original novel, which was then adapted into a manga, and then now the manga's caught up with the novel, so they're being written simultaneously. An Inspector is a series about Kotoko here, who is, when she was 8 years old, she was captured by yokai, and they asked her to be like their sort of problem solver. So in exchange they took one of her eyes and one of her legs, and she goes around helping out with their problems by solving mysteries along with this guy who is a mortal called, I forget his name. I'm terrible with names. I can never remember them. Yeah, he's not at the inside. This guy here anyway, who is her boyfriend, and they go around trying to solve the mysteries to help out the yokai. It is a mystery series, but it's a bit of a different mystery series, and it's very good, and I enjoy it. Yeah, you do. This volume was also good. Next volume we're getting back into the main storyline, as the author stated in the afterwards. Good series this. Yep. I haven't read it, but it sounds alright to me, I suppose. Next up we have Children of the Whales, Volume 8. And Children of the Whales is a shoujo series, but it's not like any other shoujo series, it's quite different. I don't care. And the artwork on the front of Children of the Whales is always nice. It's always good cover art on these books. Yeah. It is. The inside art is always good too. I really like the art of this series. Yeah. Children of the Whales is about these group of people who live on this sand island, which is known as the Mud Whale. It's an island that travels through this sea of sand. This world is covered by a sea of sand, and like the islands, the Mud Whale travels through it. And there's these group of people on this island, and they don't know why they're there or how they got there in the first place. But there's two groups of people. There's the unmarked, who are just like regular people, and then there's the marked, who have these powers, like they can move stuff with their minds, like telekinesis. And the marked live very short lives. They only get to about 30, and then they die, and then they're sent out into the sea of sand. And it's about this boy, Chakaro, who's like the architect, the archivist, who writes down everything that happens and keeps records of it. And one day they are on this island that they come across scavenging for stuff, and they come across this girl from the outside world, and they bring her onto the Mud Whale, and they start to learn the truth about things and what's really going on and stuff. And that was a terrible description, but this is a very good series that is good. It's a different shoujo if you want to check out a different sort of shoujo. I really enjoy this series. It can be a bit complicated, according to my sister, who has trouble understanding these volumes and asks me 20 questions whenever she finishes one. It's a very good series. Check it out. Yeah, if you want. I still wouldn't read it, because even if it's a different sort of shoujo, that word's still in there, and it develops my mind into mush. Hello, children of the whales, I shall stare at you. Next up, I have Kaguya-sama, Brothers War, Volumes 2 and 3. I enjoyed Volume 1 in my last haul, so I got these two. As you can see by this bookmark, I am halfway through reading Volume 2. I have read all these. I haven't read any of these, apart from half of this. And Kaguya-sama Brothers War is a shonen series by Shonen Jump, written by Akasaka, and it is a series about these two student council people in this elite high school. And we have Kaguya, and then we have the other guy, Miyuki. And these two are in the student council. They write this president and the vice president, and they fell for each other, but neither of them want to admit their feelings, because they think that the first person to admit their feelings gets dominated by the other one in the relationship. So each of them is trying to get the other person to admit their feelings first, so whoever does loses. So they have these mind battles with each other and stuff, where they try to get the opposite person to admit their feelings first so they can win. It is a comedy series, and it can get random. One of the chapters, they are drinking coffee or tea, and she deliberately switches the cups to one that she was drinking out of to try and get him to indirectly kiss her by drinking out of her cup. But he realises straight away that it's her cup, and stuff like that. And going to the cinema together, but not wanting to give each other the tickets, so trying to find a way to get them to both go on the same day. It's a good series. It's also got an anime currently airing, which I haven't started watching yet. I'll wait till it's finished airing before I watch it, so I can binge it. Anyway, Kaguya-sama Brothers War is a good series. Badgy, move your head so I can put this down. I don't want to. Next, we have one that Badgy will probably enjoy. Oh, finally, about time. We have Volume 1 of Dead Mount Death Prey, which is a new series by the author. I think it's by the same author who did Dororo and Bacano. But, Ryogo Narita. The artist Shunta Fujimoto. And this is about the death god. In the past, he's fighting against these people, these knights, and they're trying to eliminate him, and they manage to kill him, but just as they do, he activates reincarnation magic, so then he wakes up inside the body of this boy in the modern world, and he's trying to get by in the modern world. Here's the description on the back. And so he wakes up inside this boy in the modern world, and that's all that I know, because I haven't read this, and that's all that the description says. But I probably shouldn't be opening this, because this is an M. I was flicking through this when it first arrived, and there was a scene in here that's totally not appropriate for this video, so I'm not going to be flicking through it. Let's just say it involves two naked women rubbing breasts. Yeah. I want to read it. I want to read it. Can I read it? Yeah, you can. I'm going to take it now. I'm going to take it now. I'm going to go over here. Oh, yes. Next up, we have Volume 3 of the case study of Vanitas, which I finally got round to getting. I got Volumes 1 and 2 as soon as they were released, and then I kind of fell behind and forgot to get the rest. So I finally got round to getting Volume 3, Volume 4 and 5 are also out. And the case study of Vanitas is about this vampire called Noé, and he's in France, and this human guy called Vanitas, and they have this book, from what I remember. I might have to reread these first 2 volumes. They have this book, and the vampires all have this disease where they go insane and start attacking people, and this book is taboo and it's meant to be cursed and stuff, but Vanitas tells Noé when they meet up that he can use this to cure the vampires, so the 2 of them are kind of going around using this book to cure the vampires of this crazy illness that they have. And that's all I kind of remember of this, because it's been possibly 2 years since I read the first volume. It has been quite a while, so I may have to reread this before starting Volume 3. It's been that long. Next I have The Water Dragon's Bride, Volume 2, which is by Ray Toma, who wrote Dawn of the Arcana. I love Dawn of the Arcana, it's a great series. And I have Volume 1 of this. I read it ages ago, and I decided to finally get round to reading Volume 2. Because I have so many other manga that I'm reading, I just tend to forget half of them. And it's about this girl, and she falls in this pond in her garden, and ends up in this world that's kind of the past, and she meets the water god, who says she's going to be his bride, but she doesn't want that, so she's trying to escape him, and there's this boy there, and he's helping her. And in the first volume, it's basically just them her trying to get used to living in this new world and avoid the water dragon, and I don't know much else because I've only read the first volume. But I know my camera's running out of battery. I may have to be quick and plug this in. We may have to speed through these last ones. Anyway, she's a young girl in the first 2 volumes, and then I think she gets older after that. Next we have One Week Friends, Volume 1, and this is a manga which is half normal, half 4-panel manga about this girl who loses her memories at the end of every week, and this boy tries to befriend her, and he finds this out that she's going to forget about him at the end of every week. They're 1 week friends, they can only be friends for 1 week. You're speeding! I need to, the camera's running out of battery. And he decides he still wants to be friends with her, so I don't know much else. I haven't read it yet. It reminded me a bit of F, A Tale of Memories, so I decided to try it. Next, these are the 2 I got from Waterstones. Black Torch. It's a shonen manga. I heard that it's meant to be similar to Blue Exorcist, and also it has a poster inside. It's a a miniature poster with Seraph at the end comes with these, and I have them on my wall up there. So yeah, Black Torch, it's about this boy who can speak to animals, who merges together with this cat, and they have to fight demons together and stuff. I just picked it up because I've heard it's meant to be similar to Blue Exorcist. It's only 5 volumes long. I think there's 3 out currently, it's not that long. Anyway, on to the last one quickly, and that is Ran and the Grey World, which is a new series by Spiz Signature, and it's just come out. I found it in Waterstones. It's about this girl here, Ran, and she's a sorceress who lives with her family, and she wants to practice her powers, but she's not very good at it, and she's not allowed out very often, and she finds these shoes, but when she wears them she turns into an adult, and she uses this form to get out and try and practice her magic and stuff. The description's in here. yeah, I don't know much else about it, just picked it up. I've heard it's supposed to be good, and the artwork is good, and yeah, that's the last volume I have. This is by Aki Iri, I think that's how you say it, by the way. And that is all the manga for this month, including this one that Badgy's got. Yep. And that is going to have to be it for the video before my camera cuts out. Need to charge it. Yep, you should have charged it beforehand. Well, it had 23 minutes left. I didn't think it would take that long, but apparently it did. Yep, it did. Anyway, I'm gonna say bye now, so hope you enjoyed the video, even if it was a bit rushed at the end there. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? And goodbye. Say goodbye. Goodbye. See you. I'm gonna read this. Bye. And it's still